Hello YouTube, just putting together a quick video today on the cargo space in the Model Y with 2 child car seats in the vehicle, and specifically with the 7-seat Model Y, as that's what I chose when I ordered my vehicle. So right away, what you'll see, my kids, they're twin 4-year-old boys. They sit forward facing. We have Graco Forever 4-in-1 car seats. Right now, both car seats are set up, and the Tesla seats in the second row are slid all the way back. When you get the 7-seat Model Y, the second row seats are on rails that slide forward and backwards. That is to facilitate getting in and out of the third row, as well as the actual third row passenger legroom. Because what you'll find out, if you look, there's actually no legroom in the back until you slide the second row forward. Essentially, the second row and the third row share legroom. So when you have third row passengers, the second row passengers have less legroom. That said, when we just have the 4 of us in the car, my wife, my 2 kids, and I, there is plenty of room for everyone. And plenty of room for cargo. So just taking a look at this here, the kids have plenty of room. They can step right into the car, climb up into their car seats all on their own, and there's plenty of room. Everyone's comfortable in here. The center seat is probably the weak point here, just because the Model Y has narrow hip and shoulder room. If you're going to sit a person in the center here, it's best that they're on the smaller side, maybe a child, like a 8 to 10-year-old or so, something like that, or a very small adult, because there's just not a whole lot of room. One thing you can do if you do need to use that center seat with a adult is scoot your car seats over just a little bit to closer to the doors. That'll give you another inch or so on either side of each car seat. And that's been useful when we've used the center seat. So back here behind the vehicle in the cargo space or cargo area, the trunk as it is, right now we're still in the configuration with 2 car seats in the second row. You can see that there's quite a bit of cargo space here. I don't normally keep anything back here, so the side bins are empty on either side, and then in the trunk well, I just have a liner, a mat in the bottom to, catch the majority of debris or any sort of liquids or anything in the bottom there. And this is generally how the car is configured, with the trunk being, third row folded, and nothing else really stored back here. Gives quite a bit of space for stuff. And we've taken a few road trips now with 4 and 5 people in the car, my wife, 2 kids, myself, and an additional adult, kids' grandma. So we've done that. It's been very successful so far. So what I'll do now is kind of give you an idea of some things you can put in the trunk of the vehicle real quick. So first things I brought out, more typical road trip stuff for us right now is a cooler. This specifically is a Coleman PowerChill 40-quart thermoelectric cooler. We like it. It's a plug-in model. There's a 12-volt plug right here. You can just plug the cooler in right there, and as long as you're putting cold stuff into the cooler to begin with, it will generally keep everything in there cold for the duration you keep it plugged in for, so that's pretty handy. And then I have my typical Swiss Gear carry-on bag standing on its side here, and it fits just snugly, maybe with a little bit of play, between the Coleman PowerChill and the rear side of the third row or cargo area here. And I still have plenty of room for more carry-ons, more stuff, the entire trunk well, the side bins, the front trunk, all of that stuff. All right, so I dug out our our full-size double stroller that we still have. Haven't used in a solid 18 plus months. It's a Contours Options Elite, I believe, as the model. I don't know if they still sell it, but for reference, it's a rather large stroller. Again, it's full-size double stroller. The only way I could get this in here actually was to take out the cover for the trunk well and put the stroller in right side up. And that's without taking the stroller apart at all, literally just folding it up, put it in the car. You know, I'm pretty confident that I could take the stroller, take the wheels off, probably take the seats, which just you know, clip off. Same with the wheels, it's just one button press and each wheel comes off. I could probably take those off and make this fit much more compactly, but you know, that'd take you a minute versus just fold and throw in the car. So here is another configuration that seems to work, which is I slid the second row forward about maybe halfway, about 3 inches. Might be kind of hard to see on here. But yeah, I slid the second row forward a bit, and I was actually able to lay down the stroller and have a decent amount of room still. And for reference, there's my same carry-on luggage. I have it sitting in the trunk well, and there's, you know, room on either sides to pack, you know, loose items all around it. Still have the trunk side bins, the side cubbies, a little bit of room over here. If you take off the wheel on this stroller, obviously you'd be able to slide the stroller over a bit more and create a bit more room over here. So here is another configuration. This time I swapped the full-size stroller for a double umbrella stroller. I did slide the seats back to their all the way back position, but in order to get this configuration closed with the cooler and the double umbrella stroller, in order to get the hatch closed, I did have to release the center seat. It does fold down all the way. I just didn't fold it down in this case. Generally, if we're traveling long distance, probably going to use that space between the kids' car seats, the center seat, as cargo space, rather than putting a person there for a long trip. At least that's just how we use that space. All right, so the next thing I wanted to show you was how much cargo space you have with the third row up. And as you can see, it is not a lot. You still have, obviously, the entire rear trunk well and the side bins. They are fully accessible, fully usable. But you have now given yourself 2 more seats and taken away all that cargo room that you previously had. So what can fit in here? Let's find out. So I was able to put the umbrella stroller in here on its side, and I guess I could have done this in the third row folded configuration as well. Just putting the wheels off into the side trunk well, or the side cubbies, as some people say. You can put the umbrella stroller, double umbrella stroller, on its side and still have a bit more room for stuff. You could put, you know, a backpack or 2 over here, probably stuff a backpack in there before you put the stroller in, and obviously still have whatever space you have in the trunk well. So my cooler, my Coleman Power Chill cooler, does not fit. The hatch will not close in this configuration. So you would have to either put one seat down and slide it over there, which obviously you're giving up a seat for, cargo space, or you would have to do something else. Now, the last question people may have is, can you fit 2 car seats in the third row? And the answer is yes, you can. Even wide car seats like the Graco models that I have. You don't have a ton of space, but it works. My kids actually love sitting back here, surprisingly. You have the anchor points, the top tether anchor points in the third row seats here for the strap that goes over. And then you actually use the vehicle seat belt. You use that to strap through the car seat when you're putting the car seats in the third row, because the seats in the third row do not have the lower anchors. Do I think that's a problem? Not really. And when you start reading the manual and the specifications on the various configurations to these car seats, you learn that you can only use those lower anchors safely by themselves, with the top tether, of course, when your kids are, at a weight of 45 pounds or less. Once they reach 45 pounds, you need to, in addition to continue using the top tether, you need to also feed the vehicle's seatbelt through the car seat to adequately secure the seat for your child. So that is one of the caveats to putting car seats in the third row. Probably wondering, does the hatch close? Yes, it closes. One more thing I forgot to mention, how do you get access to the third row from the second row when you want to put children in? Well, that's easy. Right here on the second row, there's a button right here on the top of the seat. Push that, and the seat slides forward, tilts up, and there you go. You have access to the third row seating. It's a little tight putting a child in there, buckling them in, but you're only doing it for maybe 30 seconds. It's not the worst thing in the world. And then how does the seat go back? Pull down, boom, boom, locks in place, all set. So final thoughts, would I recommend the Model Y for families with 1 to 2 kids? Absolutely. Even 3 kids, as long as they're not all exactly the same age. I don't have triplets. It's a fantastic vehicle for families of that size. I would encourage you to highly, highly consider the 7-seat option. It gives you a ton of flexibility. And that's it. Yeah. I've had this vehicle for 13 months now, going on 14, and it's been great. Thanks.